Hello and welcome. Namaste from New Delhi. This is DD India's Express News, where we get you the day's top 100 developments in just a matter of a few minutes. I'm Gautam Roy. Let's roll. Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone and inaugurated multiple development projects in Gangtok district at the Sikkim at 50 celebrations on Thursday. Addressing the celebration of Sikkim's 50 years of statehood via video conferencing, the Prime Minister said India has given a clear message to the whole world that our nation is a strong and fearless country which won't tolerate terrorism in any form. Highlighting Sikkim's developmental journey of 50 years, Prime Minister Modi said that the northeastern state has become a model of progress and has emerged as a symbol of the richness of culture and heritage. The PM also laid the foundation stone for the city gas distribution project in Alipurduar and Cooch Behar districts of West Bengal, costing more than 1,010 crore Indian rupees. The project aims to provide piped natural gas to over 250,000 households and many businesses, along with 19 CNG stations. The inaugurated project will provide convenient, reliable, environment-friendly and cost-effective fuel supply and create employment opportunities in the region. The PM got a warm welcome by a cheering crowd when he arrived on stage to do the honours. Addressing the gathering in West Bengal, the PM said that the city gas project is a revolutionary step in the gas-based economy and has given a boost to this industry. The PM also travelled to Bihar today, where he inaugurated the newly constructed passenger terminal of Patna Airport, built at a cost of around 120 billion INR. It can handle 10 million passengers per year. Prime Minister Modi also held a mega road show in Patna after the inauguration of the newly made terminal. People from all walks of life gathered to welcome the Prime Minister. Addressing the inaugural plenary of Confederation of Indian Industry, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh reiterated that POK is a part of India and the people who got geographically and politically separated will sooner or later voluntarily return to India. The Defence Minister also termed the execution model of the AMCA program to build fifth-generation fighter aircraft in India as a bold and decisive step which will take the domestic aerospace sector to greater heights. Speaking at the CII Annual Business Summit, Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said that India's manufacturing sector has increased multifold in just 10 years. The Ministry of External Affairs' spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal has said that talks and terror can't go together and added that the Indus Water Treaty will remain in abeyance till Pakistan continues to support cross-border terrorism. Taking India's message on zero tolerance to terrorism worldwide, the all-party parliamentary delegation led by Member of Parliament Sanjay Kumar Jha is in Indonesia's Jakarta. It held a meeting with the leaders of the National Mandate Party of Indonesia. The delegation, which has been in Jakarta, also interacted with resident ambassadors of friendly countries in Indonesia and shared their insights on India's calibrated and strong response through Operation Sindoor. This delegation also held an insightful interaction with scholars and researchers from Indonesia-based think tanks and academia and conveyed a strong and unified message of zero tolerance for cross-border terrorism to maintain peace and regional stability, and sought to jointly explore ways to combat this menace. Another visiting Indian all-party delegation led by Member of Parliament B.J. Panda engaged with members of Saudi civil society during their stop in Riyadh. The dialogue highlighted India's steadfast zero-tolerance policy towards cross-border terrorism. Yet another all-party delegation led by MP Shrikant Shinde, which is visiting Sierra Leone, met its Deputy Defence Minister and briefed him about India's counter-terrorism operations, reaffirming zero tolerance for terrorism. Deputy PM and Foreign Minister of New Zealand, Winston Peters, arrived in New Delhi for an official visit. The visit aims to further strengthen the warm and friendly ties between the two nations. India's President Draupadi Murmu addressed a literary conference at Rashtrapati Bhavan, New Delhi on Thursday. The two-day conference will showcase various sessions on Indian literature in a global perspective. The Har Shikhar Tiranga Tricolor on Every Peak mission, launched by a team of the National Institute of Mountaineering and Adventure Sports, has successfully concluded. The mission was in line with Prime Minister Modi's vision of Meri Mati Mera Desh, when a team collected soil from the mountains of all 28 Indian states. Indian stock markets ended on a positive note on Thursday. The Sensex closed 321 points higher at 81,633.02. The broader Nifty 50 also settled at 24,833.6 with a gain of 81 points. The US market is about to open as well, and gold prices now have witnessed a significant drop. On Thursday, Multi-Commodity Exchange quoted the price of 10 grams of gold at 95,100 rupees per, like I said, 10 grams. Silver prices rose by 421 INR per kilogram, costing 97,562 INR for 1 kilogram of silver on the MCX. And the INR weakened by 10 paise to close at 85.48 against the US dollar on Thursday, pressured by a strengthening dollar overseas and a rise in global crude oil prices. And there you go, oil prices rose on Thursday. Brent crude futures rose to 64.57 USD a barrel. NVIDIA has forecast second quarter revenue below market estimates on Wednesday, expecting a major hit to sales from tighter US curbs on exports of its AI chips. India's Noida International Airport has announced a partnership with American multinational Uber to offer seamless and efficient mobility solutions for passengers directly from the airport's premises. The Reserve Bank of India has ramped up its gold reserves to 879.58 metric tons, with an increase of 57.48 tons over the previous year, the central bank's annual report for 2024-25 said on Thursday. But according to the Reserve Bank of India's latest annual report, the Indian economy is poised to remain the fastest growing major economy in 2025-26 by leveraging its sound macroeconomic fundamentals. Now, in a huge blow to US President Donald Trump's trade agenda, a federal court has blocked most of his sweeping import tariffs, ruling they exceeded presidential authority. The federal court's ruling also quashed duties that Trump imposed on Canada, Mexico and China separately using emergency powers. The White House has called the decision an affront by unelected judges and insisted the administration would continue to fight what it calls a crisis in trade. Tech billionaire Elon Musk has announced that his term as chief of the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has come to an end. Elon Musk's departure follows closely on the heels of his public criticism of Trump's signature Big Beautiful proposal, a sweeping tax and immigration bill reform, so-called reform. Donald Trump's administration has sought to ramp up deportations and revoke student visas as part of wide-ranging efforts to fulfill its hardline immigration agenda. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said that the department will also revise visa criteria to enhance scrutiny of all future visa applicants or applications from China as well as Hong Kong. Donald Trump has said on Wednesday that he warned Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu last week not to take actions that could disrupt nuclear deal talks with Iran. US officials were concerned that Israel could decide to strike Iran with little warning and said US intelligence estimated that Israel could mount an attack on Iran in as little as 7 hours. In South Korea, an early voting for the 21st presidential election began on Thursday. All major polls have placed Liberal Lee Jae-myung as the frontrunner in the presidential race. A maritime patrol aircraft with 4 people on board crashed near a military base in the southern city of South Korea, Pohang, on Thursday. Israelis gathered at Tel Aviv's Hostages Square to mark 600 days of the conflict and captivity for the hostages in Gaza. The Hamas has said that it's willing to free all remaining hostages and agree to a permanent ceasefire if Israel pulls out completely from Gaza. And Israel's PM has said that Israel is open to a temporary ceasefire only if it includes the release of all hostages, and has vowed that the war will continue until Hamas is completely eradicated. Donald Trump has voiced reluctance to introduce new sanctions on Russia amid the Ukraine conflict, saying he was concerned they might hinder efforts to secure a ceasefire. Russia has proposed next round of talks with Ukraine in Istanbul on the 2nd of June to achieve a sustainable peace settlement. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz on Thursday said that Europe was prepared to fight if necessary for its core values of freedom and democracy in an explicit riposte to the Trump administration's repeated criticisms of the European Union. Continuing his week-long trip to Southeast Asia, French President Emmanuel Macron arrived in Yogyakarta and was welcomed by his Indonesian counterpart Prabowo Subianto. Macron awarded his Indonesian counterpart Prabowo Subianto with France's highest honor during a visit to a military academy in Java. A Slovak court ruled on Thursday that central bank governor and European Central Bank policymaker Peter Kazimir is guilty of corruption. We're now taking a very quick break. We'll be back just in a flash. Like all our updates, stay with us.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy, always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're with Express News on DD India. Let's take things forward. Now, Canada's province of Manitoba has declared a state of emergency as wildfires continue to rage across central and western parts of the country. On Wednesday, authorities urged some 17,000 people to evacuate the city of Flin Flon. Severe thunderstorms ripped across parts of U.S. state Oklahoma with warnings issued by the National Weather Agency or Service. Lightning illuminating darkened skies over near empty roads. A huge chunk of a glacier in the Swiss Alps broke off on Wednesday, causing a deluge of ice, mud and rock. The mountain village had been evacuated due to the risk of a rock slide. According to reports, one person is missing. In Romania, the Great Salt Mine, a major tourist attraction, has been forced to shut down as rising waters threaten to engulf its spectacular underground galleries. The Indian Meteorological Department has predicted fairly widespread to moderate rains accompanied by thunderstorms, lightning in northeast for the upcoming 7 days. Red and yellow alerts have been issued in various parts of Assam with heavy to very heavy rainfall accompanied by winds of 40 to 50 kilometers per hour. And the IMD has also issued red alert for 8 districts and orange alert in the rest of the districts in Kerala, with heavy rain occurring at most places in Kerala and Lakshadweep. The South Indian state of Karnataka has experienced very heavy rainfall over various regions during the past 24 hours, with more rain forecast in the coming days. And rain also lashed parts of Tamil Nadu on Thursday evening. The Met Department has advised that cyclone warning signals be raised at different ports. Now, according to the IMD, a rise of about 2 to 3 degrees Celsius is likely over central India during the next 3 days. US astronauts Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore, who remained aboard the International Space Station last year, have come out of recovery after the Starliner mission brought them back. International Everest Day is being observed on the 29th of May to remember the first successful summit of Mount Everest by two brave climbers, Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, back in 1953. In Lagos, Nigeria, an innovative fusion of tradition and technology is redefining spiritual practices, connecting spiritual seekers to traditional African priests online. India's diverse heritage of traditional craft is capturing global attention at the Maldives Expo 2025 in Male. The event showcases Indian presence through the government's One District, One Product initiative. New York institution Met Museum has reopened its galleries for African arts. The museum reopens its African art collection in a completely renovated way. A 55-year-old Nepali climber named Kami Rita Sherpa, dubbed the Everest Man, celebrates his success after reaching the peak of the world's highest mountain for a record 37th time. Now, the first ever competition to recognize the best palliative care nurse was held among nurses from primary healthcare institutions across Mongolia. A surfers association in northwestern Mexico has unveiled a memorial honoring two Australian brothers and an American friend who were killed in 2024. Namibia honored victims of mass killings during German colonial rule with an inaugural Memorial Day as affected communities voiced fresh calls for reparations from Berlin. In a first, Greg's sausage roll, a popular British snack, has been immortalized with its own figure at Wax Museum Madame Tussauds in London. The sausage roll figure has been placed on a blue velvet cushion and will be on display at the museum throughout June. You could almost eat it. Now, Xiaomi's new sports utility vehicle YU7 arrived in 13 showrooms in Beijing on Thursday, offering a glimpse into its electric vehicle model that will officially be launched in July. The French armed forces have trained their first dog in drone guidance. Peo, Belgian Malinois, is capable of independently following the drone using his ears and eyes. Zimbabwe farmers put in efforts to revive the country's once flourishing agricultural sector, beaten down by a ruinous land reform drive during the 2000s. Twin African lion cubs named Wui and Xiaoman enjoyed their first outdoor adventure at Chongqing's Leheledu Animal Theme Park. Now, Vietnam Week recently took place in St. Petersburg, Russia. As part of the program, a Vietnamese language and cultural day was held at a Russian high school. Delta Goodrem surprised commuters with a piano performance at London St. Pancras station, joined by partner Matt Copley. It was a beautiful way to connect, is what she said. Hollywood film stars Carey Mulligan with Tim Key and Tom Basden at the London Gala screening of The Ballad of Wallace Island, joined by cast and director James Griffiths. The hit film Sinners will be screened in Clarksdale, Mississippi, in the town where it was set, despite having no movie theatres. Locals say the event is long overdue. American director-actor collaborative duo Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio are set to produce Carthage Must Be Destroyed, an upcoming action film directed by Ocean's 11 writer Ted Griffin. Hollywood stars Eddie Murphy, Pete Davidson and Keke Palmer teamed up for The Pickup, an action comedy directed by Tim Story, hitting Prime Video on the 6th of August. Hollywood action star Tom Cruise shared a heartfelt note on social media, thanking fans and crew after Mission Impossible, the final reckoning, set a new Memorial Day weekend box office record. Apple TV Plus has announced that The Morning Show, starring Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon, will return for its fourth season on the 17th of September 2025. The 10-episode season will release weekly through 19th of November. Bollywood star Hrithik Roshan is set to collaborate with Hombale Films, the production house behind hits like KGF and Kantara, for an upcoming pan-India project. And Netflix has announced new seasons of Black Warrant, Mamda Legal Hair, Mismatched and The Royals. The shows span genres from jail drama to romance and comedy. The full track Zabane Lage from the upcoming Bollywood film Metro in the Know is out now. The song is sung by Arijit Singh and Shashwat Singh, and music is by Preetham. And let's get to some sports now. The stage is set for qualifier 1 of this year's Indian Premier League as table toppers Punjab Kings will take on Royal Challengers Bengaluru in Malanpur on Thursday. Punjab Kings lead the Royal Challengers in the head-to-head matchup, with Kings holding a narrow edge with 18 wins, while RCB have won 17 matches in 35 times that both the teams have faced each other. And India A are set to take on the England Lions in a 4-day unofficial test starting Friday. In the French Open, 4-time champion Iga Swiatek defeated British Grand Slam winner Emma Raducanu in their second-round clash. World number 1 Aryna Sabalenka posted a 6-3, 6-1 win over Switzerland's Jill Teichmann to reach the third round at Roland Garros in Paris. And as far as the men's singles go, defending champion Carlos Alcaraz booked his place in the third round. Alcaraz defeated unseeded Hungarian Fabian Marozsan. Two-time French Open finalist Casper Ruud said the ATP's ranking system is like a rat race, as players felt compelled to compete in the tour's mandatory events even if they are carrying injuries. India's Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty made it to the quarterfinals of the Singapore Open 2025 at BWF World Tour Super 750 event on Thursday. In the men's singles, HS Pranoy suffered a straight game defeat against France's Christo Popov in, like I said, straight sets. Double Olympic medalist PV Sindhu suffered an early exit in the Singapore Open, losing to world number 5 Chen Yufei of China in a hard-fought second round. World champion D. Gukesh finally got his campaign back on track after getting the better of world number 2 Hikaru Nakamura to open his account with 3 points in Norway chess. Incumbent World Anti-Doping Agency President Witold Banka is set to be re-elected unopposed on Thursday. Chelsea sprang to life in the second half as they came from behind to claim the Conference League trophy with a 4-1 victory over Real Betis on Wednesday. Now, this victory means Chelsea are the first team to have won all 3 European competitions, having lifted the Champions League twice along with 2 Europa League trophies in their history. Luis Suarez and Lionel Messi each finished with 2 goals and an assist to lead Inter Milan to a 4-2 home victory over CF Montreal in the MLS on Wednesday night. That's it. 100 developments done and dusted, and well, time to go and say goodbye to you as far as Express News is concerned. But all the latest continues right here on DD India. Do stay with us.